What's going on, guys? Dan back here with the Regular Guy Garage, putting in some work on the 331 stroker build. If you haven't seen the last video, we started getting to work, installing pistons and all that stuff. I'm going to be starting off with torquing down the rod bolts. I didn't get to it last night, got a little bit late. Then I'm going to roll the engine over, put the number one piston up at top dead center, and then put in the put in the timing chain to. I'm just going to line them up dot to dot to align the camshaft and the crankshaft. I don't have a cam degreeing wheel, so I mean, I'm just going to roll with it, and it's going to be what it's going to be. Okay, so I picked up this timing set from O'Reilly's. Nothing really too expensive. It'll get the job done just fine. So I mean, it's just your standard double roller timing chain. There's the cam wheel, chain and crank wheel. So I'm gonna get this all set up on the engine. I got the rod bolts torqued down already. And we'll get the number one piston up. We'll get the number one piston up to top dead center, set the cam in place, and then we'll move forward from there. So now we're good. What it is the engine is actually sitting on the stand a little bit twisted, and it gave me the impression that my dots were actually off. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the cam bolt in and get that torque down for now. Also, guys, a little earlier, I put a dial indicator on this and checked the thrust in the camshaft, and we are good as far as the thrust is concerned. So even though you didn't see it on video, I did actually do it, okay? Like I said in one of my last videos, I don't always video everything because sometimes I gotta grab my phone, check the specs, and I mean, sometimes it's just quicker and easier for me just to get in here and do the work instead of you know, trying to video every little thing. Anyway, what I want to do now, clean off the top of the block right here. I'm going to grab a gasket and a couple of the old head bolts. I'm going to put the head on, head gasket, and then the head, and torque them down. And then I'm going to put on a couple of the stock push rods and the rocker arms, get them adjusted. And what I'm going to do is roll the engine over twice and check the piston to valve clearance, but then also I'm going to check the top of the valve stems to make sure that the stock push rod length is okay to run on this engine. All right, guys, so got the piston to valve clearance checked. Don't judge me. This is some Play-Doh. It just so happened that my daughter was playing with Play-Doh, and I was like, man, I forgot to get some sort of clay or something. However, this works perfectly fine. Just put some oil on it, and it'll stick to the head just fine. But as you can see, so I'm running the F303 cam. These are the Icon pistons that come with the 331 set, and that is actually barely touched right there. I got my micrometer so I can give this a quick measurement. We're sitting pretty with our piston to valve clearance. That is way, way, way beyond. We can run a much bigger cam with this. This F-Series cam is, I want to say it's like 512 lift or something like that. The cam that I want to go with after this is about a 560 something lift. And so I'm pretty sure we're gonna be solid. So anyway, guys, let me clean this up really quick. Also, guys, what I forgot to do, and then I did again right after was check the push rod length. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and order a set of rod bolts, which I should have did anyway, but I was waiting to, sorry, it's raining out here. But I was waiting to package the rod bolts and the push rods at the same time. Just makes it easier for when I go to order stuff, keeping track of stuff and whatnot. All right, guys, so I know you saw me run some old bolts in the engine, or at least what I found out were old. I had found some bolts from an old project and I thought they were new, and I wanted to keep plugging away at doing a little bit of content. So I went ahead and threw the heads on and then started to torque these bolts down. But as I torqued the first one, by the time I got to the second one, I found out pretty quick that these had already been stretched. So obviously I'm not going to be using these, and I wasn't really planning on it. I was going to buy some ARPs anyway. But I thought maybe, hey, if these were actually good, I could just get away with them for now. But anyway, no big deal. Gonna get some new head bolts. I actually think there's a place locally that has them, so I'll try and get those tomorrow. But otherwise, making some progress. I mean, we got the heads, up there at least. So far, everything's, so good. Everything's fitting nicely. We said got the piston and valve clearance checked. Got the push rod length checked. We're good on both of those accounts. We're perfect on this F series cam with these pistons. As you know, if you don't know, with the stock pistons, the F cam comes a little bit close, but with these Icon pistons, not even close. We can run a much bigger cam. Tomorrow, when I pick back up, I'll probably pick back up, button up the front cover. If I can get the head bolts, I'll finish up the heads, get that beautiful intake manifold that we got on this. And then at that point, I mean, it's little stuff from there that I'm gonna do when it's already back in the car. I mean, water pump I'm gonna do in the car. Well, valve covers I'll put on, but oh yeah, gotta get the push rods. So I'm getting ahead of myself. Gotta get the push rods in. So if they, and maybe they have those locally too. There's a shop not too far away that I'm gonna check out in the morning. They usually have this stuff. So hopefully we get lucky. If not, we just gotta wait a few days, no big deal. Anyway, guys, that's going to be it for this video. As you can see, making great progress on this engine. We're going to have it back in the car before we even know it and fire it off. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Check out the playlist for this project, Project Social D, which is my 1988 Foxbody project car. I originally bought it to flip it. However, me being me, now I decided I'm going to keep it. So I'm building a nice 331 stroker. Anyway, guys, if you don't follow me on Instagram, @RegularGuyGarage, as always, take care. We'll see you on the next one.